everybody, it's Alexia from The Mystic's Path, back with another weekly energy video for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now today I would like to take the time and talk about the new moon that we have in the sign of Leo, and this is taking place Wednesday the 31st of July. Now before I get into what I see for this week and this new moon, I kind of want to backtrack and talk about the sign of Leo because our sun is in the sign of Leo at this time. And when we are looking at the energy of Leo, we are looking at one, element of fire. Two, we are looking at a lot of passion and restless and excited energy. And within this, we are going to experience a bigger drive to cultivate our passions, to go after our passions, to really connect and dive in and learn as much as we can about our passion. A lot of things on the outside might not matter. We are going to see an energy of wanting to be out and kind of explore. There may even be a level of socializing here. Okay, Leo always likes to be the center of attention and the best at what it is that they are doing. So there's going to be a lot of hard work and determination fueled by passion and motivation here. But I do want to warn a lot of my people that this restless, crazy, intense energy can come off as anxiety for some of us, especially if we have some conflicting placements astrologically that day or that week as well. So we really want to be mindful of the anxiety that we may be feeling, maybe just because of not knowing what to do with this restless, intense fire energy that we are experiencing and are going to experience. Now, and I say this because the moon always rules our desires and our emotions and what it is that we are driven towards on an emotional level. So these energies are going to be intensified while the sun is in Leo and our moon is in Leo at the same time. We're kind of building up these energies, okay? Now, what I'm seeing for what we are looking at for this new moon specifically this week, I'm seeing the energy of nurturing and loving that oneself, making sure that your cup is full before you go and fill someone else's cup, and really getting connected to yourself on a soul-loving level. I also see the energy and feel the energy of kind of pushing past barriers and pushing past blockages, because when we are either at the finish line or we are close to the finish line, or we can see the finish line, we can see where it is that we are trying to go. And there's been this layer of protection that you kind of have created, like a film over yourself and over your heart, and I kind of see us breaking through and breaking past that and kind of just consuming the fear that is within that and kind of shooting forwards, kind of like a rocket ship, shooting for the stars, shooting for what it is that we are ultimately going for, okay? And that's what I'm feeling that this moon is bringing to us energetically. Now, where can I be more playful in my life? We get the Seven of Wands, okay, and Elegua. And this is simply just saying that you have been feeling like, your back is against the wall, things are crazy, and you're running up against a lot of obstacles that you're having to defend off, whether that be the people that you are surrounded with or the actual but the actual blockages and obstacles that you are facing in your day-to-day just to make it through. This might be a heavy workload at work. This might be a lot of arguments with people. This might be, feeling like you constantly have to defend yourself, like you're being attacked. Okay, that's what the energy of this is. But knowing that also there is time to be playful and to be childish and to really connect to your inner child and just kind of enjoy that and open the door back to that, because I've often shut the door to our inner child and put that part of ourselves in a box or in a place and don't really let it out because we're adults or we are growing older and we don't have time for childish things. Well, that is wrong. When you are out of the situation that you have to be in, where it's fight or flight or work, or do, or responsibilities, when you are out of that role and you kind of go home and transition into a more relaxed setting, or what is supposed to be a more relaxed setting, and it's kind of time to unwind and connect to your inner child and kind of have fun and let loose and be free and go swimming or just get into a place where you can express yourself and be free. You don't have to, just because you are in a role in one place doesn't mean you have to be in that role in every phase of your life. You're allowed to unwind, you're allowed to have fun, you're allowed to be playful, you're allowed to feel joy and have joy. Just because what we think, how we have to get to where we have to go has to be so much structure and so strict and so many rules. Not every aspect of your life has to be like that. So incorporate the fun where you can, incorporate the playfulness where you can. Step out of your day-to-day or what you're doing and put some joy into your life. You don't have to, just because you are fighting off things or feel like your back is up against the wall doesn't mean you have to stay in that place all the time. You can let that childish energy kind of come out and play. There's a time and a place for everything, and knowing that and tapping into all of our aspects of who we are is very, very important to be rounded, or to be well-rounded and experience life in the ways that we are supposed to be experiencing life, okay? Now, where should I use all of that warrior energy? Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, Leo is very driven and knows exactly what it is that it wants and how it's going to get it, or the steps that they're going to take to get it, okay? Now, when we are looking at where should I use all of that warrior energy, we get the Tower and Azaka. And this is saying that you might be experiencing a breakdown. You might be experiencing a breakdown that is in front of you where things are falling apart or feel like they're coming to crashing down. You might be having arguments. You might have lost a job. You might be having arguments within your job. You might be having arguments with other people. Things might be rearranging. Things are exiting your life that aren't really serving you anymore. And there's a breakdown for a purpose. And to use this warrior energy to knowing that things might look scarce, things might look confusing while everything's flying all over the place and things are kind of shooting over here, things are kind of shooting over here. You may be in a place where you're accepting of the change. You might be in a place where you are kind of resistant and pushing the change off. But nevertheless, to use this warrior energy to not tap into what you see directly in front of you, but tap into what is on the horizon. And we're going towards the rainbow. We're going towards our blessing. We're going towards what it is that we are supposed to be receiving. We're not getting caught up in all of this breakdown and missing this. We're just going to kind of cut through, the field where there is nothing and walk towards that rainbow to receive our blessings. Okay, we are knowing that there's a blessing on the other side of this, that after the rain has, passed, that we can follow the rainbow to, the pot of gold on the other side. And using the warrior energy to, this is what I have to get through, but something on the other side is waiting for me. Something, through all of this mess, through all of this destruction, something is being created for me. Something better is turning out for me. Something better is happening for me. And I have to be able to let all of this fly, how it's going to fly. Let people's true colors show how it's going to show. So not take it on such a deep personal level where you get stuck in the emptiness of not seeing anything around you, and see the illusion for what it is and go to where you need and are supposed to be traveling. Use your warrior energy and use that in mentally to know that this is just a breakdown of situations in front of you, leading you to where you need to go. But you have to be able to see things openly enough to see the finish line, to see where you need to go, to see the shortcut that you need to take through all this bullshit and all this mess to get to where you're trying to go. Okay, that's where you need to use your warrior energy, is within the breakdown and within the confusion and within the fight, that you can see the goal and what you're trying to do, why you're fighting in the first place, to get to where you're trying to go. Okay. And to keep that in mind, keep that rainbow, keep that picture, keep the pot of gold in your head while you're fighting the fight to get to where you're trying to go. Maybe you see the rainbow and you've been distracted and you're just like, okay, this is stupid. I'm not even supposed to be caught up in the illusion of what's going on over here. I have other shit I need to be doing. I have other shit I have to be working towards. I have other stuff that I need to be going towards. Okay, use your warrior energy within that to get to where you need to be, get to where you're supposed to be. Okay, especially if you're off track right now. If you're off track right now, center yourself and listen. Where is it you're supposed to be going? Figure that out Find where you're supposed to be going and let things fall how they'll fall. The more you fight, the more you resist, the more things are going to come crashing down, because this situation is ending for you. This situation isn't for you. This situation is breaking down. The more that you try to build the tower back up as it's coming down, the more you're going to get smacked in the face with bricks. Okay? Until the point where you're unconscious and you wake up and everything's destroyed anyways, and there's nothing to salvage. And you've just wasted all of this time when you could have been going to where you're trying to go. Getting to where you're trying to go. Okay? Now, where do I need to take action? We get the Strength card and Dambala Wedo. And this is telling me that, one, you already know where you need to take action. You've already been contemplating this. You've already been contemplating on taking action or not taking action. You've been contemplating on staying still or move forward. You've been contemplating on moving forward and being in the way, or moving forward and being out of the way. You have been contemplating all of this because there's a level of fear that's keeping you complacent here. There's a level of fear that you aren't, that you feel like you can't move past. But a part of strength is moving forward in the dark where there's not a lot of light, and moving forward even though you are scared. It takes strength to get up and say, I'm not going to let this fear control me, and I'm going to get to where I need to go, or I'm going to achieve what it is that I'm trying to achieve through the fear. The fear will start to melt away, and you will start to feel safe once you realize the situation that you're putting yourself in isn't as scary as you thought. Okay? All of the things that you have imagined to go wrong aren't necessarily going to go wrong, okay? And we have to remember that it takes a big level of strength and a big level of courage to keep pushing forward, to keep moving, even though we are scared shitless of the outcome or something going bad. But you are never going to know how things are going to turn out if you don't take the chance. Okay, so here we're looking at taking action on what you've been contemplating on, what you're afraid of, what you really want but are scared that you're not going to get it. Well, if you don't try to get it, then you're not going to get it, so then fear has won. Okay, and remember that's where you need to take action on. Don't let the fear win, because at the end of the day, even if you were right, even if things don't work out the way that you thought, the way that you had hoped, that all that means is that way wasn't sufficient. But you would never know if things are going to work out the way that you hoped, or you're going to achieve what you wanted to achieve, if you never take the chance out of fear. So even if you don't gain what you're trying to gain, you have lost nothing. Okay? Now, where am I being asked to be more open? And we get the Nine of Wands and Simbi La Flambeau. And this is saying that you are very guarded. Again, you are very guarded. You're waiting to defend yourself. You feel like you're in a place where you have to defend yourself. You have to defend your loved ones. You have to defend your livelihood. You have to defend your territory. Okay? And really feeling fearful of opening your heart and opening all of the energy within this, within your heart, within your solar plexus, within your sacral chakra. All of this is being blocked here, if you can see it. It's all covered. You're not penetrating it. You're not getting through it. Okay? That's being guarded just as much as the territory behind him. He is guarding his heart. He's guarding his joy, and he's guarding his creativity. He's guarding everything that makes him who he is on a vulnerable emotional level, that makes him unique. He's guarding all of that in fear of losing it, or losing himself out of situations that may happen for people who are not, that don't have good intent, okay? But this is saying that it is time to kind of take out that feeling of needing to guard and protect yourself so heavily, because we'll never experience life the way that we need to experience it if we are so guarded and we are so protected from bad things happening. Because when we're protecting ourselves from bad things happening, we're also protecting ourselves from good things happening. And when we get into this card is really saying, and the cards couldn't be more better, like combination, because here he's guarding his heart and his solar plexus chakra and his sacral chakra all in one. And this card is really symbolizing our sacral chakra in general, okay? But all of it ties in, because when we are looking at our sexuality and our creativity, which is in reproduction, this is what the sacral chakra, this is the energies that the sacral chakra holds. We are also, when we can't tap into these things, we can't tap into the joy of who we really are. And then our heart is covered, because who we really are is attached to our heart chakra as well. And this is really saying that, one, you need to be open more creatively. Stop worrying about the judgment of what other people are going to think out of what you create, and just tap into it. But also, stop hiding yourself so much sexually. And this is not for other people. This is not for the people that you are maybe in a relationship with, or sexually connected to. This is you connecting to yourself sexually and sensually, that in your sensuality. That doesn't mean sexually expressive or anything like that. That means being comfortable who you are sensually and sexually, on your authentic self, so you can express yourself without fear of how other people are going to see you, because you're not afraid of how you're seeing yourself, or ashamed of who you are. And you can really connect to all of that you are sensually in a whole way. Okay, and kind of start to heal some of that damaged sacral chakra energy that you do have. Okay, and really just being able to be free, because all of our creation, all of our manifestation comes from our sacral chakra. Why is this? Because this is our reproductive energy source. That does not just mean with like reproducing children. This means that this is your source of where you create. This is the source of where you create for manifestation as well. If that energy is blocked because you're afraid of how people are going to see you, or what your sexual desires are, so you're not going to fulfill them because you don't want to be judged, or you're not going to connect to yourself sensually because you don't feel that you deserve it, or you may not see yourself in a good sensual way, you are blocking yourself from the manifestation that you are trying to receive, that you're trying to create, because you are damaged and ashamed of the energies that lie in the chakra center of where you're creating from. Okay, so we really need to connect to that and really push past this level of like I said, that salve of protection that you kind of put over yourself, and kind of shoot past that. Because yes, we are trying to protect ourselves from what other people are going to do to us in a harmful way, but you're also blocking yourself from receiving what you can experience in a good way. See, it's like a coin. It's either you're getting heads or you're getting tails. But you're not going to experience life either way if you're blocking yourself from receiving any of that. And the way to keep yourself in a protected way is stop the need to control others, and stop letting others' actions control how you feel about yourself. And it's not even, and it's more of stopping letting others' actions control how you feel about yourself, because nobody can make you feel any way about yourself than you don't already feel. So we're healing these issues that we have within ourselves so we can live the life that we need to live. And we can really take in this energy that this moon is trying to bring to us to get to where we're trying to go, through all the breakdowns that are happening, and through all the fighting that we feel that we need to do, and be able to connect to ourselves in a playful way, and connect to ourselves in a whole way. And that's, we say mind, body, and spirit, right? But we are talking about all the parts of ourselves, our playfulness, our strictness, our rules, our rebellion. We're connecting to all of it in the appropriate time frames, in the appropriate places. We're not just staying rigid all of the time, and we are experiencing life the way that it was meant to be experienced. Just because we experience one thing that's a hard way doesn't mean our whole life has to be hard. That doesn't mean that that's what the whole picture has to look like, okay? And really opening yourself up, not for other people, not even looking at we need to open ourselves for other people to receive us. We need to open ourselves so we can begin to receive anything and heal ourselves so we can feel good in a place where we can receive other things. This is not for other people to receive us. We are not healing these things for other people to receive us, or for this love to come in. We are healing ourselves so we can love ourselves enough that we're not dependent on the love that other people are bringing in. Okay, and I'm going to say again, just because I'm saying opening up more sexually does not mean for other people. This is for you. This has nothing to do with other people. This is opening up to be in a place that you're comfortable with who you are essentially and sexually. Okay, now I hope that this video has helped everybody. I know that this video is a tad bit longer than my normal videos. I really tried to keep them at anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes, and we're looking at about 20 here, but this energy is very intense, and I'm feeling a very, very intense energy as I am filming this. So I hope that I have explained everything in a very clear way, and if you have any questions and you have any issues understanding anything, or you feel that you need a reading specifically for yourself, please do not hesitate to contact me. I would love to work with you. Everybody have a wonderful day.